Okay, good morning, everyone. This is the weekly briefing for today, June 27th through July 3rd, and we'll take a sneak peek preview for the 4th of July next Monday as well. First, we'll look at the tropics. Given the time of year, the tropics are relatively quiet. In fact, there are no tropical cyclones forecast to develop during the next 5 days. No areas of disturbed weather. There is an area of low pressure off of the coast of Georgia and South Carolina this morning, but that is attached to a frontal zone and not expected to acquire any tropical characteristics. So again, the tropics, which we are concerned about this time of year, are thankfully quiet. We'll get started by looking at the mid and upper level flow pattern, which usually dictates what goes on down where we live at the surface. And pretty much for the whole forecast period, we're going to be under the influence of a trough in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, indicated by the dip in the green contours there over the eastern United States, with the big ridge contrasting over the western United States. And that pattern pretty much holds throughout the next 7-day period. And typically, when under the influence of troughs, such as the one over the eastern U.S. this week, temperatures tend to be a little cooler than average, and precipitation chances a little above average. So better than normal chance of showers and storms are anticipated throughout the forecast period. And based on that pattern aloft, here are the surface charts forecast for the next week as we go through next weekend. The first chart here is valid today. There's a lead cold front that's largely falling apart as it moves through the Tennessee Valley and approaching the Appalachians, with a more appreciable air mass change hanging back over the Ohio Valley and then extending into the Central Plains states. As we go into the midweek period, the two fronts sort of merge as they move into the eastern Carolinas and down into the southeastern United States by Wednesday morning. And that front should be drifting again into the eastern part of the Carolinas. So the associated shower and thunderstorm chances along and ahead of that front may briefly decrease as we go into the latter part of Tuesday night and into early Wednesday. But the front doesn't make it too far, which is typical for this time of year. We don't get full surges of the much cooler and drier air through much of the southeastern United States like we get during the transitional seasons and the winter months. So a lot of times those fronts tend to just hang up and fall apart, but maintain a focus for showers and storms. And it looks like that's going to be the case for this week as well. And notice as we get into Friday here in the bottom left panel labeled late week, that one front is hanging back pretty much right overhead and largely dissipating, while another front crosses the upper Midwest and begins to approach our region as we get into the weekend. And then that front too merges with the lead frontal zone and generally stalls out in the vicinity of the Carolinas as we go through the weekend into the early part of next week. So the fronts pretty much just die or move into the Carolinas and Southeast and become stationary pretty much throughout the week. And that's a typical pattern a lot of times during the summer months. The severe thunderstorm potential is relatively low. For the day one outlook, there is a marginal risk out over the Tennessee Valley and the central Appalachians, maybe nosing into the northwest Piedmont late this afternoon. But all in all, it looks like it's going to be a dry day for most of central North Carolina, with some scattered showers and storms moving in very late in the day out toward the Triad, the Yadkin River Valley. And then those showers and storms are likely to move east across most of the rest of central North Carolina overnight. But given the parameters that are forecast, it doesn't look like any appreciable severe weather is expected. So even within that marginal risk area, mainly to the west of central North Carolina, any severe weather reports should be relatively marginal, with just some sporadic trees down and perhaps some marginally severe hail, just barely getting up to 1 inch in diameter. And then as we go into the day tomorrow, For Tuesday, there is a marginal risk that extends right over central North Carolina, and the wind in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere increases, which provides the shear that thunderstorms, particularly severe thunderstorms, thrive upon. The winds do increase, but instability is going to be relatively low tomorrow as a result of fairly widespread cloud cover from the overnight convection that will likely linger into early Tuesday. So we're not expecting a whole lot in the way of instability to help fuel the thunderstorms, and as a result, there's only a marginal risk for central North Carolina tomorrow. There may be a few more severe weather reports, most likely in the form of some sporadic trees down, mostly wind damage. Not really expecting a whole lot in the way of hail for tomorrow. And then the outlook for Wednesday is that frontal zone that I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago drifts down into the eastern Carolinas. We get into a little bit drier regime, at least for the better part of Wednesday, with maybe the chance of showers and storms increasing again over the southern part of the state, but those too are expected to be subsevere as the environmental parameters are just not favorable for severe thunderstorms during the middle of the week. The rainfall outlook throughout the week, again for today, it looks like the axis of the heaviest precipitation amounts will be centered over the Appalachians and then spreading into the far western part of North Carolina during the overnight hour, or over the western part of North Carolina this afternoon, and then extending east into the Piedmont overnight. But certainly the heavier amounts are anticipated to the west of our area through tonight. And then for tomorrow, it looks like the better chances of showers and storms will be generally over the Piedmont, somewhere most likely between Greensboro and Raleigh, and then some sort of line most likely moving east through the remainder of central North Carolina through the afternoon. So the heavier precipitation amounts for Tuesday are expected over the eastern half of North Carolina. And then again on Wednesday, a continued chance of showers and storms, particularly very late in the afternoon into the evening, centered over the southern half of the state in association with that stalling frontal zone. And then we get more of the same, just a pattern of scattered showers and storms through the end of the week and at least into Saturday, with a better chance of storms as we get into the day on Sunday, as that trailing frontal zone settling down from the upper Midwest catches up to and merges with the preceding front and moves into North Carolina most likely on Sunday. So Sunday should be a relatively better day for showers and storms, where the coverage should be higher than the scattered nature that we're expecting basically Wednesday through Friday. And you can see the 7-day total there. Those amounts, potentially we could have a couple of inches to perhaps maybe 3 inches of rain, but given the nature of the precipitation in the form of showers and storms this time of year, there are going to be some areas that get much less than that, and then others that may receive twice that much, and that's just beyond the predictability at this time range. So that's just an overview of an average aerial forecast of the rain. Looking ahead into next week, these numbers may be a little overdone as far as the climate outlook is concerned. Overall, it looks like the trough is going to relax in the eastern United States, the one I showed you from the mid and upper level flow pattern from one of the beginning slides. And as a result of that relaxation of the flow aloft, the signal for below normal temperatures may not be as great as indicated on this graphic. And similarly, the signal for above average precipitation may not be as great. So we may see an update to these numbers over the next few days. But overall, the Climate Prediction Center is anticipating a little below normal with respect to temperatures and a little above with respect to the precipitation. But I wouldn't get too excited about those precipitation numbers if you're hoping for some rain for your lawn, for example, for next week. So in summary, again, today it should be mostly dry throughout the majority of the day, and relatively warm, up near normal, near 90 degrees, again with those scattered showers and storms moving out of the mountains and across the Piedmont very late this afternoon and particularly this evening. And then those showers and storms will likely continue through tonight, and again mostly sub-severe, so we're not anticipating a whole lot in the way of severe weather with that. And then for your day tomorrow, it looks like there are going to be a lot of clouds around early, particularly over the Piedmont, maybe some peaks of sun out east of 95 in the coastal plain. And again, we expect a line of storms to develop somewhere over the west central portions of the Piedmont, roughly between Greensboro and Raleigh. And then that line of storms is likely to move east through the rest of the Piedmont and the Sandhills and coastal plain through early to mid-afternoon, with some clearing coming in behind that line of showers and storms. So by 4 or 5 o'clock over most of central North Carolina, the sun should be shining and things drying out. There is a small chance of maybe some redevelopment of some very widely scattered showers or storms late in the afternoon into the evening behind the earlier line of storms. But I think the brunt of the rainfall for tomorrow is going to come with that line of storms that moves east earlier in the day. And then Wednesday through Saturday look relatively similar, with scattered mainly afternoon and evening showers and storms, and temperatures trending up just a bit from a little below normal for Tuesday and Wednesday example at 85 and 88 degrees, and then we trend up to near 90 degrees for Friday and right around 90 for Saturday. And then again, Sunday, as that next frontal zone settles into the area, the showers and storms should become more numerous. So it looks like that'll be the relatively best chance of rain during the extended period. So it looks like Tuesday and Sunday will be the relatively best chances of rain during the stretch, when the coverage is likely to be better than the scattered that we're expecting for the rest of the forecast period. And then looking ahead to the 4th of July, that front that moves into central North Carolina on Sunday, there are indications that that will likely dip just to the south of central North Carolina, perhaps stalling right around south of the border, the South Carolina state line, as we get into the day Monday. So if you have outdoor plans, fireworks for the 4th, it looks like a little bit lower chance of showers and storms, which is a good thing by the time we get into Monday. At least that's the way it looks now. We're still 7 days out and a lot can change. But as it stands now, it seems like those chances of showers and storms will be decreasing as we go through the day Monday, with perhaps Fayetteville and Maxton, Laurinburg, areas down near the South Carolina line, standing the best chance of having some of Mother Nature's fireworks. But otherwise, it looks like Monday could be a relatively dry day. But stay tuned for that. You can see the forecast here down at the bottom of the screen, again indicating the chances of showers and storms pretty much through the week. You see Tuesday there with the relatively highest chances, and then again on Sunday. And that's all we have for you this morning. If you have any questions, please post those in the question box here. Otherwise, I hope you all have a good week and enjoy your 4th, and we'll talk to you again Monday morning and hopefully have a little bit better handle on the hopefully dry forecast for the 4th. I just see a thank you, no questions. Thank you. I appreciate your time. I hope you all have a good one. Again, this is Mike, and I hope you have a good afternoon and good rest of your week.